In the previous segments of the love series, I've talked about many different aspects of learning to love and what love looks like and feels like and how to attain it and maintain it and improve it. Now here we are. We're coming out of the dysfunctional, toxic relationship issues that plague so many of us. And today we're going to talk about how to find ourselves. The first thing that we need to do is to remove the victim status. I was neglected as a child. I was abused as a child. I was abandoned as a child. Of course, these things are painful. And of course, they linger well into adulthood if they're not addressed. We remove the victim status by simply accepting that this has happened to us and that it is not our fault. No matter what the circumstances, it is not our fault, but the fault of those adults that were around us, whether it was a parent or a grandparent or someone that was simply watching us. We just simply accept that we are human and that we are flawed and that we have some additional limitations that those that come from a relatively normal upbringing do not have. By doing this, we automatically release the victim status from our being. So what happens then? We become a product of our experiences. In other words, this just happened to me. Nothing anybody can do about it. I'm not responsible for it happening at all. What we are responsible for is taking care to ensure that the balance of our lives is spent living the way we want to live and not the way we were taught to live. We begin this process of transformation by looking at our lives simply as a matter of fact, not with a punishing, agitational kind of perspective, but simply black and white. And what we want to focus on is the positive things in our lives, things that can be so simple. Like if you're a parent, you come downstairs or your children wake up and you say good morning. Or you have a feeling of love in your heart when you're preparing their lunch for school. Simple things that we completely overlook and take for granted because we've just instinctually done these things. These things are important for us to acknowledge because it increases our worth to ourselves. The other thing that we need to do to remove the victim status and to move into a healthy, loving, connected living experience is to accept that these limitations exist, the limits of being able to love thoroughly and completely, openly, and without expectation of having that love returned, and that we need help with resolving these issues. Now, some of these issues certainly can be processed without outside assistance. Others most certainly will need some external assistance. The way that I've done it in my own life is I began to focus on being kind. I was angry inside, but I was kind outside. And I began to watch my life change I began to watch people's actions and reactions towards me improve. I didn't expect them to improve. I was being kind because I was wanting to love Keith. And this is about dedication. This isn't, I'm going to do it on Monday and Thursday at 3 p.m. This is about doing it from the time I wake up until the time I go to sleep. And as a result of this change in living style, my life got better. My perspectives on my living experience began to change. And as a result of these changes, I began to love myself based on fact. This is Keith Kayle.